Welcome, everybody, to the NFL presidential address for week 3. I'm going to give you bets on every single game on the board. We're going to start right off the bat with Miami going into Buffalo, and this Miami team as well. 3 or 4 days away from a new head coach. That's my prediction. I think Miami gets blown out. With that said, I'm still not prepared to take Buffalo minus 12. It's just too much. Buffalo up by 17. Back doors wide open. Can't play the side in this game. But I got to give you guys a bet, and I got one I'm making personally. This is a bet that I love. I took a deep dive into this game because Thursday Night Football, everybody wants to bet it. How can you bet over 50? And it keeps going up and up and up. 93% of the money is on the over already. We're taping on Tuesday. 89% of the money is on Buffalo, yet the line does not reflect that, which means there is some extremely smart money coming in on Miami. I don't get it. How do we bet this game? We look at the team totals over. Now, originally my plan was to go for Buffalo team total over. That is just simply too high. I can't take a team total over 28.5. It's just too much. However, the Miami Dolphins team total, you could get 16.5 at minus 145. 16.5. That's 2 touchdowns and a field goal in a game where I think Buffalo puts up a huge score. So if Buffalo is going to put up a big score, that means Miami has to keep up. Can Miami get us 17 points? Abso-freaking-lutely. Well, I understand that Buffalo's defense looked amazing last week against the Justin Fields-led New York Jets disaster. How did they look against Baltimore? Horrible. They're probably somewhere in the middle. They're not as good as the first week. They're not as bad. They're not as bad as the first week. They're not as good as the second week. Miami's putting up points here. Take over 16.5 minus 145 in that Miami Dolphins Buffalo Bills game. There's your Thursday nighter. Let's get into Sunday. But before we do that, guys, please, 1 minute, 1 second out of your day to hit that like button. It is so important to me. I also need you guys to comment on these videos. There's so many competitors out there putting together these type of videos. This presidential address is 20 years old. This is our 20th season of doing the NFL presidential address. This video predates WagerTalk. I used to do this on the radio. So please, if you guys want to help us get more exposure, get higher up in the rankings on YouTube, you comment and you like. And then also, of course, share with your friends. That would be wonderful. Greatly appreciated. Let's get into Indianapolis playing Tennessee, and I got some promotions coming later. So Indianapolis, outstanding. Indiana Jones, Danny Dimes, whatever you want to call him. Absolutely spectacular. First 2 games have been great. They showed a ton of moxie last week, being down to Denver and making a comeback. With that said, I cannot take a road team at minus 3.5. Tennessee looked okay against the Rams. I think Tennessee's defense actually is pretty good. I think they're going to be in the top half of the league. I understand that their offense is sputtering. Cam Ward made some great throws last week, especially that one gorgeous cross-body pass for the touchdown. I think Tennessee's the play here, guys. A plus 3.5 division dog. Come on. Indianapolis just cannot be that good. Now, I can be wrong, and we could make an adjustment in our power rankings in a week or two. But going into week 3, I think everyone is completely overreacting on this Indianapolis Colts team. They are not as good as they look. Tennessee is not as bad as they look. The markets are going to adjust, but they didn't for this week. Let's take advantage of that. The play is Tennessee plus 3.5. If you guys have never watched this video before, I do this all top of my head. I have no notes in front of me. I've obviously done an incredible amount of research, but it is Tuesday and I still don't have a full injury report up. With that said, if you bet all of these plays, every NFL presidential address, you'll make a lot of money. I'm doing great. Carolina, they're plus 5 against Atlanta. There are going to be games that I want to pass on, that I really just don't have a feeling for, and this is one of them. Carolina showed some moxie, making a nice comeback last week. Atlanta, I just don't have a full handle on them. How good are they? They lost in week 1, they won in week 2, but the week 2 win, it feels a little suspect to me. I need to see a little bit more out of Atlanta before I can give them 5.5 points on the road in a division game. And we know betting Carolina is a non-option right now. So that game is an outright pass. We're having a very similar problem with the Washington game. We don't know if Jaden Daniels will play or won't. And Washington is -3.5 currently with a total of 44. I think the Las Vegas Raiders are a fade team moving forward conceptually, but this is a pass game for me right now. There's just way too much in the air with what the injury reports coming out of Washington. And we have injuries in Vegas as well. So I'm going to move on to Green Bay playing Cleveland. Cleveland is one of these 0-2 teams. I want to let you guys know there's currently 10 0-2 teams in the NFL. 0-2 teams since 1990, they have an 11% chance of making the playoffs. But 0-3 teams, they have a 2.5% chance. So keep that in mind, because if ever you're going to get the best game out of a bad team all year, it's usually when they're down 0-2. And I feel we're going to get Cleveland at their best this week. However, this is not as much a bet on the Browns as it is a bet against the Green Bay Packers. And let me explain. I freaking love this Packer team. Love them. I think this Packer team is lights out. I think they are going to be, for sure, a Super Bowl contender, not only this year, but for a few years to come. This just happens to be a horrible, horrible spot for Green Bay. This Green Bay team just had 2 huge games to start the season. They won both. If there is an emotional drop, it's happening for Green Bay this week. And they're playing a Cleveland Browns team that has an exceptional defense. Now, I understand their defense wasn't great against Baltimore. No defenses all year are going to be great against Baltimore. This Cleveland Browns has an excellent front seven. They were able to stop the running game from Baltimore, and I think they'll be able to stop the running game from Green Bay. I think there's just simply too many points. It's an out-of-conference game, a game where Green Bay just came off of a game versus the Lions and then an in-conference game against a playoff rival. This game means nothing to them as far as, oh, they must beat Cleveland. They could care less. They want to win this game for themselves, but they're not getting up for this game. Cleveland, on the other hand, is playing for their season, and Joe Flacco maybe for their career. I got to take the points here, guys. Give me the Browns plus 7.5. Well, we got a similar problem in the Cincinnati-Minnesota game. Both quarterbacks are out. We got Browning for Cincinnati, goes by the name Jake. And we've got Carson Wentz for Minnesota. Let me break this down right now, flat out, guys. There's a bet here, and it's on the Vikings. And the bottom line is Cincinnati's a fade team. Now, 2-0, unbelievable, excellent start. Best start they've had in the Zach Taylor era. And what do they get for that? An injured Joe Burrow. With that said, this Cincinnati team is horrible. They're horrible on defense. They played great on offense last week. I don't see that continuing. Now Minnesota's going to have a chance to game plan for that quarterback. They got one of the best defensive units in football. So this is how I look at this game. Home team, Minnesota. Team with the better quarterback. I think Carson Wentz might be an upgrade to J.J. McCarthy, and I guarantee you he's better than Browning. Who's got the better coach? I am obsessed with the coach in Minnesota. I think he's one of the best coaches in all of football. Who's got the better defense? Minnesota by far. I'll take them, thank you. Let's not overthink this. Give me the Vikings -3. LA going into Philadelphia. This is that revenge game written all over it. Let me explain something to you quickly. I do a show every day. It's called The Best Betting Show Ever. I do it with Art DeCesar and Joe Ranieri. It is spectacular. It's a must-watch show. On the Tuesday show, we had Art DeCesar get up and tell us that Philadelphia was -6 in the look-ahead against the LA Rams. -6 before the season begun. Last week, Philadelphia was -4 as a look-ahead line against the LA Rams. Then Philadelphia goes to Kansas City and beats them on the road. The juggernaut Kansas City Chiefs, and Philadelphia's been downgraded. Really? Really? The Super Bowl champions who have not lost a football game since they won the damn Super Bowl, who have won 2 games in a row, one tough against Kansas City on the road, have been downgraded. Downgraded. Why? How? Thank you. Thank you. I love the Eagles here. What am I missing? I understand that the Rams played them hard in the playoffs last year. I get it. I understand the Rams almost beat them last year. I get it. You know what else happened last year? History. This Philadelphia Eagles team is vicious. Their defense is, we talk about their run game all the time. We talk about the tush push all the time. I get it. Long bomb passes from Jalen Hurts. I get it. This team is built around their defense, and their defense might be the single best unit in all of football. They're playing a Rams team that's not as good as they were last year. They're playing a Rams team that beat the Titans. Woo-hoo, way to go, Rams. And then the Texans. Oh, yay. You should be upgraded for that. Anyway, shout out to the bookmakers out there. Thank you for downgrading the Eagles. That's where we're going. Okay, let's turn our attention to Pittsburgh, New England. I like Pittsburgh here. I also like the over in this game, guys. We've seen from Drake May 2 games in a row that this New England Patriots team is going to air the ball out. Very surprising given that they're coached by Vrabel. But clearly this New England Patriots team can score, and I think Pittsburgh can do the same. The one thing we haven't seen with Pittsburgh is Aaron Rodgers really just letting the ball rip downfield, and I do think we're going to start to see that as the season progresses. From a total perspective, 44 is too low. I think we're going to get higher. From a side perspective, I think the Pittsburgh Steelers have to feel, look, they're down about their loss last week against Seattle. It was horrible. I mean, they had a complete brain cramp by a punt returner or a kick returner. They could have gotten out of that game with a win. This is a veteran team, a better defense, better quarterback, more weapons. We're going to take the Steelers -1.5. With that said, take them on the money line, guys. We've done a deep dive into this. We spoke about it many, many times. It's way better to take a money line bet if a game is under 2. So instead of taking Pittsburgh -1.5, take them on the money line. We're going to talk about that again in the Dallas game. New York Jets playing Tampa Bay. I'm going to stay off of this game right now. We don't know what's going on with Fields, but I do think that if Fields plays, Tampa Bay blows the Jets out. I hate the spot for Tampa Bay, but I cannot put my money on the New York Jets. Houston playing Jacksonville. We got to look at Jacksonville here. I mean, Jacksonville has played outstanding 2 games in a row. They had a brain cramp loss the last one against Cincinnati at the end, but they were able to move the ball up and down the field, and I think the Jacksonville defense might be better than what we thought coming into the season. As for the Houston Texans, this is a fade team at a high level. This team is a total mess. They cannot run the ball, and other than Nico Collins, they're struggling to throw the ball. C.J. Stroud might be murdered by an edge rusher at some point this season. I cannot back the Texans. One of my better plays, a play that I'll likely put in the Circa contest. Take the Jags and again, take them on the money line. Denver going in to play L.A. LA Chargers, best team in the West. You guys can get the LA Chargers to win the AFC West at even money. That is a spectacular bet. We got KC 0-2, Chargers 2-0. Chargers have already beat Kansas City. With all that said, I got to take the Chargers in this game. This Denver Bronco team, we were told that they had an offense, a historically good offense. Defense, a historically good defense. Really? Danny Dimes just put up $1 million on that historically good defense. Now, I understand that they held the Tennessee Titans to 9 points or whatever it was in week 1. It's a frickin' Tennessee Titans. Who cares? So right now, our data set is we don't know anything about Denver's defense yet. And we know that their offense is struggling, and Bo Nix is not the second coming of a great quarterback. What do we know about the Chargers? I think they have the best defense in all of football, period. This Chargers defense and the Philly defense, 1 and 2, lights freaking out. They were unbelievable against Geno Smith and the Raiders. And from a secondary perspective, oh my God. You better run the ball on the Chargers because you ain't getting a lot of passes. Denver, not the same team as LA. I got a better team. I got a better coach. With that said, Sean Payton's an incredible coach. But I got a better team, a better coach, a better quarterback, more weapons, and what I think is a better defense at home under a field goal. Thank you, books. We'll take the Chargers. Seattle -7.5 against New Orleans. Seattle's going to be my survivor play, guys. That's all I got. I can't take them at -7.5, and I'm certainly not taking New Orleans. I love Dallas here against the Chicago Bears. This Dallas team is getting overlooked. I get it. They went into Philly. They lost. They should have lost against the Giants. I understand. But what did the game between Dallas and the New York Giants really show us? It showed us that this Dallas Cowboy team has moxie, has guts, has the ability to rally, has the ability to make comebacks, has the ability to score quickly. This Dallas Cowboy team offensively will be a top 3 unit in the league. They will put up points against everybody. They'll put up points against the Chargers. They've already put up points against the Eagles and were able to move the ball up and down the field on them. There's no way the Chicago Bears team is going to hold Dallas down. And then the question is, can Chicago keep up? And the answer to that is hell freaking no. Caleb Williams' experiment is not turning out very well. His long bombs seem to miss all the time. Their running game is mediocre at best. The Chicago offense is not coming around. I think Ben Johnson will turn this team around. It's just not going to be this weekend, nor likely this season. I think Chicago has to feel pretty bad about themselves emotionally. I think Dallas has to feel pretty good about themselves emotionally. Take the Cowboys as a pick-em play. San Fran, Arizona. I mean, Jesus, way to insult Arizona. I mean, you got basically a bunch of scrubs playing against a 2-0 Arizona team, and the scrubs are favored. Is that a statement on how deep San Fran is? No. That's a statement on how bad Arizona is. And we expected a lot out of this 2-0 Arizona team. They have not looked good at all. I mean, at all. They could have lost both those freaking games. So this San Fran line is not a testament to the brilliance of San Fran. This is a direct shit on the Cardinals line. So are we supposed to take the Cardinals? I can't. I'm passing on this game. Thanks for the chat. Kansas City going into New York. This is a Sunday night game, and I love the Giants. This is a bet both on the Giants and against Kansas City. And let me start with the New York Giants. 0-2, I get it. They've played good. They have played much better than we expected. They could have won both their games. They for sure could have beat Dallas on the road. Russell Wilson is looking much better. Malik Neighbors is all freaking world. I understand that they don't have a very good defense, but Kansas City can't score. Now, I get that they were, a Kelsey fumble away from putting up more points against Philadelphia. This Kansas City Chiefs team has had 2 games, and they are really, really struggling. And it's a totally reasonable thing that they're struggling. It's no one's fault. Rice is out. Worthy is out. They got no wide receivers. Kelce is a little old, a lot old. Plus, he's busy at home. Pacheco is non-existent. Kareem Hunt has no lateral movement. Their offense is a complete mess. Defensively, they're good, really good. I get it. But I don't think the New York Giants are going to be held down here. It's not like Kansas City they're going to struggle to put up 20 points against anybody right now. And I don't think the New York Giants are going to put up less than 17 at +6 home team, feeling like, hey, we could hang with the big boys, playing a Kansas City team that, albeit has their season on the line and might play their best game. I don't think Kansas City gets separation here. I think this game, can Kansas City win? Sure. It's going to be a real tight game. I love the New York Giants +6. And Detroit and Baltimore, guys, I got nothing for you on that game yet. I simply haven't researched it enough. My lean is to the over, but we will take that game as it comes. That's it for the NFL Presidential Address Week 4. Lots of love for all of you guys. Again, my survivor pick will likely be Seattle in the circa, in the big one. Other than that, I have a huge card for my clients in NFL Week 3. I already know that because I already have 3 plays up for my clients right now. So make sure to take advantage of that. If you guys have never played my entire NFL card, I'm up. I went 5-2 in week 2. I won money in week 1. I'm up on the season, 60% win percentage. So I'm absolutely rolling. I have not lost an ATS bet for my clients yet this year. So please take advantage of how I'm seeing it right now and join me for Sunday NFL. That's about it. I do a show every day, the best betting show ever with Joe Ranieri and Art DeCesar. You can see it at WagerTalk today, WagerTalk TV. Other than that, I'm out of here, guys. It's been a long day. I need a nap. We'll see you next week.